Good evening and welcome to the DSD Hangout for Team UK. Bit of things that we've got going on with Team UK is that our Facebook group is growing by the second. It's growing. There's members from all over the UK, whether they're part of our downlines or not. They've got in touch with one of us and they have come forward and they want to find out about Team UK, what we're doing. So what we've got is a Facebook group for the different levels of DS Domination, and we want you to be in it. So if you're in the UK, get in touch with anybody on the panel, get in touch with anybody on Team UK. You can send anybody a message. They will then put you forward, as in put your name into the Facebook group. Then what will happen is one of the admin of the team will then approve you, or they will ask you for proof of your account. So all you need to do then, take a screenshot of the top of the banner in DS Domination, and it'll say that you're an affiliate, you've got pro, you've got elite, whatever the things you've got. You send that to the person that requests it, and then they will allow you into Team UK, into our Facebook groups. So what happens then is you've got access to all the specific support things that crop up. You know, in any business you're going to have things that crop up that are not going to be, you're not going to know how to find this, that and the other, or is this the right way of doing things. You put that question into the group that we've got on Facebook, and then you will then have like loads of people enabled to help you go forward with that. So that's what we want you to do. Get in touch with us. Let's get this Facebook group, more members in there means more support in there for more people. Okay, I don't know what the numbers are at the moment. Are they, what are we on now, about 200, is it?
Yeah, it's almost about 200, I think.
Yeah, so we're on about 200 people, and I can see that the value that is put in there is worth it for the people that are in the UK, because DS Domination is a US specific or a US company. Then there's little things that you need to tweak with being in the UK. So that's what we're here for anyway. So what we got on tonight is we've got a few people from the UK. We hopefully have a few people joining us shortly. They're just running errands and stuff. So what I want to touch on straight away, I think I'll talk to somebody who I've known online for a little while and who has been plugging away with DS Domination, has been making money with it, and we just want to iron out a few of the things that you might have gone through to enable you to either sell in the UK specifically or go over and sell in the US. What issues could you iron out for a few people? Stu, how's it going, bud?
Yeah, no, bad, thanks, Steve.
Good, good. So tell us about what you started with originally. Are you still on the pro level? What have you got, and how did you start with DS Domination?
Well, Rick actually introduced me to it. I'm currently up to unleash level at the moment. But I basically started off with a new account because I had some problems with an existing account, which was one of the pitfalls to start with, but I've managed to get over that. But yeah, it's been going pretty well. I've sold more in the UK because obviously we're based here, so that's a bit more beneficial for us. I've not really been doing a lot with the US side. I've literally just been sort of treading my feet carefully, but it's like any business, you don't want to run before you can walk. Yeah, I've just been doing it pretty much part-time at the moment because obviously I've got other commitments in the day. Yeah, it's not been too bad. I've made about 3 to 3.5 profit since November.
That's good.
So, well, yeah, it's not going too bad considering I'm not really doing a lot. Probably an hour to 2 hours a day, if that. So, but yeah, it's not been too bad.
Did you find that you had to get a certain amount of feedback before you could go over to the US on your account?
Yeah. Yeah, they wouldn't allow me because I did try and do it straight off the bat sort of thing, but they wouldn't let me until I had at least 10 feedbacks, positive feedback, which is obviously something to do with eBay's terms. But yeah, once I'd got over the 10, I tried again, and everything's been alright since, and they haven't really bothered me so much, so to speak.
And have you had to ring them up for any things like increasing your account limit? Or?
The limits, no. I've really just let it run its course. I haven't pushed it because of, some people have been having problems in our group with that. So I've just let it run its course, and they've done it automatically. They've increased it without been asking. So, but yeah, I'm not a person that tries to push things too fast. I'd rather just let it run its course and then things develop on their own. I know I probably could push it a bit more if I wanted to, but I'm not that kind of person, really.
Yeah. So, how important is the role of a sponsor that brought you into this then?
To be honest with you, I mean, Rick's a good friend anyway, and it's thanks to him that I've actually got into this sort of industry to start with. But I don't really bother Rick that much, do I, Rick? I haven't really gone to him for a lot. It's pretty much, it's my business, so it's sort of my responsibility to make sure it runs right. But he's always there if I ever need him, and he always supports me or answers any questions that I do have. So yeah, he's good like that.
I wasn't meaning to drop him in there, but what do you think that there's enough instruction within the videos within DS Domination that I mean, if you sign up on day one and then you go and sign somebody else up, then they come to you asking you questions, and you're supposed to be the expert after day one. Whereas really, you're not the expert, you're just somebody that signed up just before them. That's where people get a little bit confused, because they assume the role of the expert on day one of a business, where we try and point people towards the videos within DS Domination, because they're all very so clear. The pro level takes you from where to find ebay.co.uk, where to start listing stuff and all that. So there's no real hand holding for somebody that is very new to the industry anyway, is there?
No, not at all. So, I mean, the videos are very clear, but I would recommend that going over them more than once, because you are bound to miss something. I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I have a little bit more experience than some people that have just started, because obviously I've been doing it a bit longer, and I can provide some solutions, but if not, then I will always go to either Rick, or I'd ask them to go into the group and ask if they have a problem, or put in a support ticket.
Yeah. So, all right, then, touching on the Facebook group then, have you seen things in there that have answered a question before you've had to ask somebody?
Yeah. I can always check. I'll always put a search in first, or in our other group that we've got, because there's bound to be an answer before I will go to Rick, or I will go and put a support kit into Roger. I mean, some of the conversations that have been going on recently could have been resolved a bit differently, maybe. I don't know whether you saw them.
Yeah, I mean, things happen like that, and it's a good job that we've got good admin staff like Rick and Darren there. Darren, how's it going, bud?
Hello, everybody. Sorry, hello. I'm sorry, I was miles away. I've got PMs going on all over the place. I'm really good. I'm really good. Yeah, just full of busy.
I was just touching on the brilliant admin staff that we've got within our Facebook group. you know, keeps up to date with things, keep people informed of what's going on, and you know, it's a real good support network for people in the UK, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the way and the reason that the group was designed for the UK was predominantly because myself, Paul, and Jill, well, more, yeah, myself, Paul, and Jill, we recognised that, you know, there was a very high intake of people in the UK who wanted to come on board with DSD, but wanted to experiment with the UK side and not just the .com. So we knew that we needed some sort of support platform because it was always going to be a trial and error, because Roger didn't have as much experience on the UK market as what he had with the .com market. So it was, you know, back in the early days of doing it, it was a case of people are coming on, sharing their experience, find out what worked and what didn't work. And it's been really interesting as well, because everybody would think that ebay.co.uk is the same as ebay.com. It's not. And the amount that I've learned, I mean, I don't really sell on ebay.co.uk, I sell a lot on ebay.com. But what I've learned in comparison between the two has been really, really interesting. You know, things like free listings, for instance, that's completely different on ebay.co.uk. So it's really, really interesting to see the experiences that people are having, and from an admin point of view, it's been great. That, you know, really interesting, like with the admins that we've watched the page and we've seen how things have evolved, and it's been very self-taught. You know, not us having to really do anything. It's just been more us observing than anything else, and seeing how people are getting on with it and evolving and sharing their experiences. And it's really good to see that sort of network build. And the group's been gaining momentum a lot lately, which is always a bonus for us. And because with DSD, because DSD isn't just what I always, it's not only what I do other things, and it's really good that I can still feed into that whilst I'm busy doing other things as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, a few companies, we've all experienced this online business type thing. A business I thought about recently, I put a comment up and I was saying, is this business still going? You know, there was all this buzz, there was all this launch, there was all this hype about it, this company, whatever it was. We could all think of about 10 different companies, you know, previously. And a lot of the people that built the thing, they were then paying for sign-ups and all this sort of stuff, and then it fizzles out, and then there's something else on the agenda. Whereas because the pressure of recruiting is taken away with DS Domination, it's not a getting fast type thing. It's this is going to be around forever anyway. If you want to join us, you can do. There's people that have joined, even DS Domination that I know, they didn't realise what they had. They you know, left it because they were doing other things, and then they've come back to it. And it's always going to be here. It's always going to have the same support. It's always going to have a lot of you know, money-making ability, as we've seen with numerous people all around the world making lots of money with DS. So it's quite interesting that this is going to be around forever. It's not a quick launch thing, and it's just getting more and more momentum, like you said recently. What about this? You know, the new things that are coming out. I don't know whether you've got this email that. Well, let me go to Rick for a minute. Rick, you've got an email that you got today. It was quite exciting. The bit that I've heard, because I haven't received the email. Tell us a bit about it and what's going on in the near future.
I'll do my best. I apologise in advance, guys, if you can hear a fan. This laptop seems to be rather noisy today, so I hope you can hear me okay. And I'll try not to babble too much. I'll get straight to the point. The email itself, it's kind of a two-part email. It's not sort of exclusive to myself. I know other people have had it, but I think it's probably being sent out in batches. There are two parts to it, and the first part that I've received today, there were two main points in it. The first of which was they're testing a new, not a new payment processor, because I would just say the payment processor that we use for the affiliate incomes and everything else is first class. I've used it prior in another business and it's amazing. So that's not the issue. It's not payment processor they're testing. It's just the way that we're paid. I can't divulge, or not divulge, I can't detail that too much. They were just testing some payments and charges and stuff to speed everything up, because the company's growing so quickly, and it's really getting momentum. They're having to, I would imagine it's to do with increasing server sizes and stuff as well, speeding this whole site up. The main point of the email was giving us a little bit more information about the exclusive services, the drop shipping services that are going to be built into DS Domination very shortly. We are going to, as members, we are going to have exclusive access to items. Roger and Hitesh and Kevin, the founders, they've been in contact and negotiations with massive suppliers worldwide, and DS Domination members, as far as I'm aware, this is what I've understood, are going to have exclusive access to certain top-selling items, and we're going to be the sort of exclusive sellers of it. And that's kind of the general gist of the email. It was slightly more information. I think the second part of the email is going to be more informative. I think there's no harm in building a bit of buzz. It's not all about hype, this thing. It's very down to earth, and we're told the information when it comes out. But I think as far as building a bit of buzz, I think we're all very excited to hear the more detailed stuff in the second part of the email.
Yeah. When I saw it, they were saying, if you are, if you're at the monopoly level, I think there's some things coming out with that as well. And so what you've got to do is either get to the event, or if you're in the UK, if you don't want to have the big expense of all the airlines and hotels and everything, get the ticket for the event, get the VIP, so you get access to all the things that are exclusive, like Rick was just saying. That is going to cost you, I think I looked yesterday, I think it was $299 to get the VIP. You will get everything then. That includes all the recordings of the event and the meetings that go on with behind closed doors with Kevin, with Hitesh, and any of the other trainers that are in DS Domination. So it's very worthwhile. If you can't make the event, get the VIP ticket before the event, before the tickets are sold out. I don't know if they will sell out or what, but get that $299 put away, because you've got, what, about 15 days or so to get it. And then you will get all the bonuses that the people that are going to the event are getting. So this exclusive thing, does anybody know any more detail about this exclusivity of product? Darren's gone out now.
Well, I think literally it's a sort of wait and see pudding. I mean, the first part of the email was telling us more about what the second half of the email is going to be about, but not actually disclosing too much.
Okay.
So no specifics were mentioned, no sort of names of suppliers or names of exclusive items, but the whole platform of DS Domination is going to be revamped. It's not like a relaunch or any of that rubbish that you get with other companies. It is just an improved platform. It's being upgraded to handle new services that essentially are going to be available to those people at different levels, in addition to what we have now.
Yeah, because Roger touched on that, didn't he, when he was on our Hangout a few weeks back, that they are going to renew things, and that'll be nice to see, because there are certain improvements. And I think one of the first things that Roger said before we did the Hangout the other week was, so how can we improve things, guys? And he's open to feedback. He's open to improving things for the people in the trenches like us that are promoting this business. So it's real nice to see. So what we got? Darren, are you going to be going to Vegas?
No, I'm not. Around the time when Vegas was was on the cards, I was setting up shop, an actual brick and mortar shop, and I have no staff at the moment. It's just me and my business partner. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make it. And plus, I'm off to Thailand this year, so
Oh, nice.
I'm going to Thailand on the 6th of June for just under 2 weeks. So I'm not going to be able to make it this year, but definitely I will be next year.
Well, try and enjoy yourself in Thailand, won't you?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to say, well, I'm not that far, but Thailand is quite far from the States, so yeah. But I'll be there in spirit anyway. I'll be there in spirit.
So have you heard enough about the event to to pick up what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, I have heard a lot, even though that I haven't been as active as what I normally am. I've been keeping track on everything, and it sounds like, I mean, most other companies I've been involved with where I've been to the big events, it's just been a case of, when it's gone, it's gone. But Roger's been extremely accommodating and very flexible. So when it's sold, he's negotiated more rooms and things, and really, really gone out of his way for people to be able to make it. And obviously, it's an extraordinary opportunity. One, because it's Vegas, and two, because it's DSDOM. So, I mean, I'm being a bit hypocritical here, but what better reasons do you need? One, because it's Vegas, and two, because it's TS Domination, to be able to go. It's going to be an absolutely incredible event, and I know that I'm going to be kicking myself for not going, because people are going to be much, much more ahead than what I am. But you know what? Kudos to the people that go. Real kudos to the people that are going, because those are the people that are going far. I mean, I'm bowled over by the success stories that I'm seeing. And I think Stu picked up on a very valid point before about the videos. And I know I've said this before, but the people who are doing far and not doing well in this game are the people that's watching the videos and doing what it suggests and putting it all into practice. Those are the people who are leaving their jobs and doing what they want to do. And I'd seen somebody bought a car the other week with the money that she was earning from DS on a brand new car, and she's been in it for less than 6 months. So yeah, it's the people who are following DS Dom and doing it by the T and are going to the Vegas trip are the top people in this game, definitely. The absolute top people in this game.
Yeah.
So if you've got the opportunity, go.
It does collapse timeframes going to the event. It really does push you on a huge amount compared to the people that don't go. I guess the second best thing that you can do is buy the ticket for the event and then download the videos of it and view it that way. If that's the best you can do, then definitely do that for $300. I think it's worth it. So for all the people that are watching, get your comments down below. If you've got any questions for us that we can address while we're on here live, that will then help people that watch the recording later on. So we appreciate your comments and your questions, etc. So yeah, just let us know down below. You should see a box, and I'm just going to check. Yeah, Rick's left some comments. So if you leave a comment down where Rick's comments are, that'll be brilliant. Okay, right. Special announcement. Okay, special announcement. We had a word with Roger a couple of weeks ago, and Roger said that he would, do something for the UK team, and we wanted him to either do a webinar or do a tutorial or do something specific for the UK. Now, the fine details of what he's going to do hasn't been ironed out, but he's committed to doing a hangout for us, not tomorrow, but next week on Thursday. So it will be 9 PM Thursday, the 22nd of May. So write that down, book it in your diary. Roger Langill.
I think it's Langell.
Langill, that's the one. Roger Langill will be on on a hangout. I don't know if he wants us with him, what he wants, but he's committed to that time and date. So we're very much looking forward to meeting with him again, and I'm sure that he'll provide a ton of value. Another thing that he said, let me just repeat that. Thursday, 9 p.m., the 22nd of May, Roger Langill will be on our hangout. Another thing that he said was that he's been looking for more international friendly suppliers, that he's putting together and putting videos, no doubt, together in our brand new back office in DS Domination. So if you're struggling with the current suppliers or whatever, just there will be new ones coming out very shortly. I think he said 5, didn't he, with that? 5 international suppliers, yeah. So that's very exciting. Without saying the suppliers, let's bring out Gavin. Gavin? He's had to wake up now. Gavin, quick.
Sorry, yeah. Sorry, I was just typing away.
Without saying suppliers, if they're outside of eBay and Amazon, have you struggled to find products to put onto your wherever you're listing your stuff on?
No, I haven't struggled at all, really. Well, I've got one account which I use just for US, which is my own personal one.
Yeah.
And then I use my girlfriend's account for UK sales. Just so it's just easier for me to keep track of, what's what, where's where, and like manage the sort of money side of it a lot easier as well. Regards to sources of like goods, no problem really. I know there's a couple of sites, obviously, with your payment details. It's a little bit different when you're doing in the US, but in the UK, no sort of issues.
Yeah. So I mean, the training that's within DS Domination has given you the place to look for the suppliers. You've sourced it, and then you've listed it on the UK and the US, and you've had no real issues with that.
No.
Yeah, that's cool. So with was it your girlfriend's account was the US one?
The UK one.
All right, okay. So your account is the US one. Is that because it was a more established account that you already sold items with?
Well, I was originally on my account was doing 50-50, so 50 of the listings were UK and 50 US. Then I decided, well, I'll make use of a girlfriend's account because it's not being used, And yeah, I'd already bought some items from my account anyway. I had about I think it was 66 or 67 feedback score on there when I started. The other week I just hit 100, so it's now up to 102.
Well done.
And the thing is with that account is I haven't had any raises on that account, but my girlfriend's account, her account, I've had 2 raises within a fortnight. One on one bank holiday, and then listed a load of stuff, and then the other bank holiday came up, and I was able to list more, and so yeah, I'm just trying to max that out because that one seems to be naturally going up. So just make the most of it, really.
So a raise for people that don't know, there's you are allowed to sell a certain amount of items that come up with a certain value, whichever comes first. So what's the first one? Is it 100 items and £3,500?
Yeah, 100 items, £3,500, whichever comes first.
Yeah.
So
then what you want to do is get 100 items on there, or £3,500 worth of items, up on in your inventory on eBay, and then once they see that you've done that, then you phone them up, you ask them for a raise, which they will then put it up to, what's the next one, 250?
It depends, because some people it goes up in like my girlfriend's account was at 100 items or 5,000, up to the value of 5,000, and it's now gone up to, I think it's 8,000. Let me check. Sorry, bear with me a minute.
You're gonna log in live?
Yep. Yeah, so it goes up to. Yeah. So I started off at 5,000. They just raised it to. Here we go, 6,800, and I now have 150. So they've actually upped the amount I could items up to the value of 6,800.
Yeah.
And it was, when I started, it was at 100 up to the value of 5,000. So it's only going up a bit at a time, but I'm all for that.
Yeah, well, steady as it goes. So that's really good. So if you're struggling with your limits, make sure that you're listing enough items there to really push it all the way up. If you phone up eBay and you've only got 10 items listed or no items listed and you're asking for a raise, they're not going to do it. They want to see you pushing the limits, and they want to see that there's actually movement on the account. I don't know, Darren, let's go back to you for a second. What's your experience of the limits and having words with eBay and any things that maybe could speed up the process for people?
Well, my experiences have been different to what that Gavin's have. I mean, at the moment I can list like 130 items, but eBay, I think it works differently for everybody, because the guys in the US seem to just, they'll sell a bit and then they'll get in touch and they'll get the limits increased. But every time that I've rang, because now they won't, I want to say that Roger states in the video, I did state in the video that it is down to discretion, and I still very much believe it's down to discretion. But on 2 occasions which I tried, I got a limit increase, not last month, month before, and as it says in the videos, they ask you different questions. They'll say, what kind of things do you want? Are you selling? Who's your supplier? Things like that. And then what they'll do is they'll also look at your sales activity. Now for me, it's in dollars. I think I can sell I think it's close to $50,000 now in 130 items. But eBay say now that I have to make a minimum 10% of sales before they would look at another increase. They're not bad at all. They want to help you, obviously, in order to make the sales. So they'll give you some hints and tips, and they'll share some things. As long as I'm basically doing what they say, then they're kind of happy. So I haven't actively sought another increase until I'm making the 10%. And really, when you think about it, because it's great getting limits lifted, but it's all about making the money. So really what eBay are saying is right. For them, you need to be making 10% sales, and you need to be making 10% sales anyway, because you're in this business to make money. So by making 2 to 5% out of $50,000 isn't a great deal. Obviously 10%'s more. So it helps me as well, because it gives me a target to work towards. So not only that, but I've said before that says, oh, what kind of things are you selling? And this was in December, and I says, oh, camping equipment. And they went, well, camping equipment in December, you can sell it, but you might not get a lot of sales because of the fact that it's winter. You know, think about not many people are going to be going. And, you know, they kind of get you thinking at the same time. So, you know, it was like, well, what else can I do? And they were like, have you got anything else, you know, that you're looking at bringing out? And one of them, I said, oh, comforter sets. And they were like, yeah, you know, go with it, run with it. And they really were very helpful and supportive. You know, they've not been bad, they've never been nasty or anything like that. So anybody who's watching, who wants to apply for limit increase but is maybe a bit hesitant, the first thing I'm going to say to you is relax. Take a deep breath and relax, okay? Because they're not out to try and prove you wrong. So many people, like I say, getting head up, you know, about ringing eBay because they're so worried that eBay is going to ask them all these questions. Just relax and just go with the flow, you know, just be prepared. Because they are going to ask you some questions. They're going to ask you things like, who's your supplier? You know, what kind of things are you going to be selling? You know, be honest in answering those questions. You know, I mean, I said to them, well, you know, I can sell things differently month to month. I mean, what I said to them is, well, what it is this is what I said to them. I says, me and my cousin have set up a business together. My cousin lives in the States, which technically my cousin does live in the States, in New York. And I says, and he has the supplier details. I deal with all the admin and everything, and he arranges all the shipping, which is either via UPS or FedEx. And you know, that's the way I went along with it, and you know, give them a supplier's details, which I just got off Google. And you know, just give that information to eBay. I was very calm, very relaxed. And I'll tell you another thing. Here is a very, very hot tip, which eBay love. Okay, if you tell eBay, which you should be anyway, because the customer service is very, very important in this business. If you tell eBay what your mission is, so for instance, I said to eBay, we want to be able to provide an outstanding service to the customer. Feedback is very important to us. We rely heavily on it so that we can learn from it. So whether that be good or bad, to make sure that we're giving the customer the best ultimate experience. eBay love that. They absolutely love it. And they will bend over backwards to help you as long as you seem to be helping yourself. And this all counts towards limits. And I can understand why people freak, because they'll think, oh, well, where do I start in this? Don't worry, because eBay will guide you. They'll give you the questions. You just need to be prepared. Okay? But if it's when if you feel yourself freaking out even before you've spoke to them or anything like that, put the phone down, because you need to really honestly relax. They are not out to try and catch you out at all. It's just a case of, you know, they need to make sure that they're giving you these limits and that you're going to use them right, and you're not going to rip people off. Because again, you can go on Google, and forgive me rambling here, but you can go on Google and you can actually find people who have ripped people off on eBay before. You know, they've listed jewelry, mobile phones, PS3 games, and these customers have bought them for Christmas, and they've sold these items with never the intent of actually shipping an item out of them, because they never had an item to ship. You know, some people have sold, I mean, honestly, some real scare stories. Some people have sold people pictures of items and sent them out a picture of an item. And, you know, a customer has expected a computer or something like that, and they sent them a picture of a computer. And that's why eBay do what they do at the end of the day. So just remember that, you know, the reason that they do what they do is to protect the customers, and it's to protect the sellers, because it's good sellers that they want at the end of the day. Yeah,
no, that's perfect. Just another thing on, so you've touched on there the eBay customer support there. On the Amazon customer support that I've encountered, they've been really good. I listed an item on there, and what did I do? there was like it asks a question on the listing, how many is there per pack? So I put in then 3, thinking I had 3 in quantity, and I then listed the item, and then it splits it up, so it's so and so per item, which was wrong. So I phoned them up, and oh no, I sent them a message, and within a couple of minutes they'd phone me back, and you know, customer support back and forth. We got the issue sorted out, and there was, you know, no issue at all with them. They were really, really good, really supportive. They want you to do business, so you know, they're there to help you. Rick, have you had any? Oh, go on then, Gavin. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to touch on like limits and like the quantities and stuff. You know, it's all right. To me, I'd rather have the value go up rather than have the amount of items I can list. Yeah. So I'd be happy to still stick at 100 items, but have the actual value of the content go up, because then I can list higher ticket items or more of the same item. You know, but to me, I'm just going with the flow with that. You know, and just going naturally with it, because it's the right pace for me. And I think, you know, if I do want to increase, then I will, you know, I will give them a phone. But I think at the moment I've got enough there to feel comfortable with. Because it's not only that you do get items that don't sell. You know, yeah. There is a couple of items, so you know, that do sit there. But it's good to go back through your listings every so often and switch them up a bit. You know.
Yeah, that's it. You've just got to take the ones that are selling and get rid of the ones that aren't selling after a certain period, because not everything is going to sell on the first time you put it up there. It's not going to sell within the first week, so I think you've got to have some leniency of time scale there, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So a good book to read is the 80-20 principle, and that is, you know, whatever you put up there, you put up 100 items, you're only going to sell 20 of them, and just keep doing that. So 500 items, just keep, you know, you're going to sell 100 items. There you go. Ah, Gavin's got it. I've got it just there as well. Very good book, and you can apply that to anything, as it says in the book, if you've read a few pages of it. And yeah, it's true for any business. So, has anybody else got any more questions that we want to touch on? Rick is our question man.
I will. I'm not sure whether Terry has gone off to check his current limit, but there was a question he put. He just said, "Do eBay impose the limit on current sales or on past history?" And I just asked him to clarify exactly what he meant. You know, was he talking about monthly selling limits? And he said, "Yeah, I've been on eBay for 10 years and have sold over that time about £15,000 worth of stuff. Am I starting from scratch?" And I think, you know, from what I understand, no, he's not starting from scratch. And I did say, what's his current selling limit displayed in his back office? And he's possibly gone to check that. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't have said at all that you'll be starting from scratch, especially if he's using that eBay account and that's how much he's sold in the past 15 years. I mean, then again, it depends though, because he could have a limit of, say, £1,000 and he could be selling one item a month, you know, and hasn't really needed to realise that because of the fact he's only selling one item a month, which has been well within the limit without realising. So it's a very interesting question, because I have had my eBay account, let's say 11, 12, 13 years, and I'd sold one or two items before, just like silly items like a suit and a plant pot, things like that. You know, no problem, sold them, didn't even think about it, didn't even know about selling limits. And then when the time came that I did, my selling limit was £100 in 10 items, even though I'd had it for 13 years. So it's a really interesting one, because some people think that they've got a high amount, whereas in fact it might have a low, because it goes off the actual selling activity. So if you're a regular seller on eBay, then the chances are you are going to have a higher limit. If you only sell every now and again, say that you sell a car a year, you know, then that's probably not going to be applicable then, because it comes as a completely different category.
Yeah. So, go on then, Gavin.
Yeah, I was going to say you're only limited to sell a certain amount of cars on there anyway. So.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true, Gavin. Well said.
Gavin's been down the dealership looking at cars to sell.
he's off dropshipping BMW.
I thought about caravans because it's camping time, isn't it?
He's going to go around caravan sites next week. Can I sell your caravan on eBay for you? Will you deliver?
Yeah, I'm not packaging it up though. You'll have to do that. I don't do that kind of thing. I'll just get you the sale. So if you've got any more questions for us, write them in down below. We've got a few more minutes of the Hangout. We really appreciate you taking part with us in this. So one of the questions that I've just spotted at the top there from Sana, good friend of mine, is what's wrong with saying that you're drop shipping? Why can't we say that? Go on, Darren.
To who? When you say what's the matter with drop shipping, is that to eBay?
I think they're talking about eBay.
There's actually eBay allow it. eBay do allow it. It's in their terms and conditions to say that they do allow drop shipping. What eBay don't like is drop shipping from the likes of Amazon. From what I gather, because at the end of the day we would all be doing it, and I think that's basically the reason being. So there's nothing actually the matter with saying that you're drop shipping. There's nothing at all the matter. So if you say to eBay and say that you're doing it, that's absolutely fine. It's just some people don't feel comfortable. So for me, it was just easier for me to say that, my cousin has a warehouse in New York or wherever, because I sell on eBay.com. So it was much, much easier for me to do that, because I don't obviously want to be going to eBay and saying, oh yeah, I sell on Amazon.com. I buy things off Amazon.com and sell them for a profit, because then eBay is going to say, well, no, you can't do that, and we're going to suspend your account. So by all means, yes, say if you want to be a dropshipper, say it, but just make sure that you have got something to back you up, of a company that will state that they dropship for you. I would really highly recommend not mentioning anything to do with Amazon or anything like that. So just make sure that you do your research if that's what you're going to tell them.
So is it like you can tell them that you've got a warehouse, that's your supplier, and they box everything up and send it out, and you just drop ship from them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've got one of my colleagues in Des Moines, Iowa. She's got a furniture store down the road called Homemakers, which is a well-known firm. And she told them, she says, our homemakers get extra stock, and I've negotiated a deal with them and I'll sell it for them. And, that's all that she had to say, and eBay were completely okay with it. I just think it's when you start thinking of the likes of Amazon, and that is where eBay kind of like, they don't like that. And, I can understand at the end of the day, because from eBay's stance as a company, because let's remember that eBay is a company, and they're in it to make a profit as well. If you're selling on Amazon and you cottoned on to the fact of eBay's actively condoning somebody selling your product for a higher amount and making more money than you are, would you be happy? I wouldn't be happy. I would definitely not be happy. If I'm actively selling on Amazon and I'm using Amazon as a tool to sell, in somebody selling my product through eBay and eBay's allowing it and condoning it, I would not be happy with that at all.
Yeah.
I think just a little bit of common sense has to be put into this. I mean, this, I think possibly from what I remember, this is mentioned briefly in the training. Roger doesn't go into too much detail because I think he's hoping that most people have a bit of common sense. That you're not going to start shouting about the fact you're using Amazon. We're drop shippers. As you said, Darren, drop shipping. It says in eBay's terms and conditions that drop shipping is allowed. However, they don't specifically. They do mention the word drop shipping, but it's also under product sourcing is what they actually call it, and then there's drop shipping underneath. It kind of goes into more detail about product sourcing. So if you're happier using the phrase product sourcing, that is being specifically using the phrase on eBay's things that it allows. And yeah, just say you have a supplier. I actually said in an eBay chat that I used because I wanted to make sure my when you chat to somebody on eBay, I made them. They asked me where I got something, and I said, well, actually, this particular item, I was worried my customer wasn't going to get it, so I sourced it, and I actually went to Amazon on this specific occasion, and they didn't say anything against that. But I think maybe they thought it was just a one-off. I mean, I didn't start saying I get all my stuff from Amazon. So I think you do need to use a bit of common sense.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. So coming to the, have you got any other points that could help people out? That regular things that come up. People have just started yesterday. Bits of advice for them to be successful in the UK.
I'm looking at Rick. I'm looking at Gavin. I'm looking.
Watch the training. Watch the training. I think as time goes on, the trainings will they get updated, especially in Elite with the new suppliers coming. But I think this is a constantly moving platform. It's being updated. 3 founders want to take care of the members, and I think as things progress and as new things come in, trainings will be updated. So no matter where you are in the world, the key thing is watch the trainings, go over the trainings more than once, and with the sort of nitty-gritty specifics, depending on where you are, then use the groups. Use the groups for information and feedback, and ask any questions in there.
Yeah, one of the things I wanted to add as well, which has become, I wouldn't say a common question, but it is cropping up more, is I'm seeing people come on and say, I've got 10 items listed and I haven't sold anything, and it's been 4 days. 4 days in 10 items isn't long enough. I wouldn't worry about it. Even if it was after 30 days, I wouldn't worry about it. It is frustrating, but it happens. And here's what you need to do is you need to, with everything within DSD, is you need to look at it like a learning curve. So if you just started out in this business and you've got 10 items for sale and you don't sell them 10 items, you should not be disheartened. What you should be doing is taking a step back, looking at it and saying, right, what have I learned from this? So could it be my titles? Could it be my description? Could it be my pricing? Could it be the pictures? What can it be? What do I need to do to make this listing stand out from all the other thousands of listings? So then what you need to do again is, echoing of what Rick just said, is go right back to the videos and say, right, okay, let's have another look at this. So never, ever, ever get disheartened. I mean, believe it or not, I've got only 25 items listed on eBay right now that I haven't even probably looked at because I've been so busy with the shop. And I've sold 1 item this month, 1 comforter set this month. That's all I've done. But I know that's me. I know that's me because I haven't paid extra attention to the titles. I haven't paid extra attention to the description. I've been very lackadaisy and I've been very lazy. And I know that's nobody else's fault but me, because I know that DSDOM works. So I know that once I'm back in the frame and now I'm getting a bit more free time and things are quieting down, that I can pick that up and I can correct it. But never, ever, ever lose faith, especially if you're just starting. Even after the first couple of days of thinking, oh, you know, this isn't working, I'm not going to make a sale, you just need to give it some time. I mean, Gavin, I'm going to pick on Gavin here. Sorry, Gavin, but I'm going to.
Go ahead.
Because I haven't been on these Hangouts for a good while. And to see Gavin grown to the level that he's at now, and I'm sure that Stephen and Rick and everybody will support me, is amazing to see. You know, and that hasn't really took a lot of time when you think about it. It's only took a couple of months. And, you know, Gavin's going leaps and bounds now, he really is, and we'll all be at that level. But it just takes time, and you just need to learn from whatever's went wrong to see about correcting it. So never be scared to ask for help. Never be scared to see it upline, you know, and just learn from whatever's happened, but never beat yourself up about it.
Yeah, very valid.
You know, I went back over my listings just over a week back and redone a load of titles and applied some new little tips and tricks that I'd learnt on one of the Q&A calls that Eric does. And since I've applied those little tips and tricks and tweaked things and got better at doing titles and a few other things now, that, you know, those items now have more hits and views and, well, so I say watchers and that as well. So, and you know, you do get items that sit there for a while, and then you do have to look back over them and I play around a little bit, and yeah, it does work. You just be in it for the long run. It's not for the short term. It's in there for the long run. You know, it's like any business. It takes time.
Yeah, I think people need to understand that as Gavin and everybody's just kind of just said, this is not a BizOp that's going to come and go. This is, you're being trained. It's a training platform. You're being trained in the art of drop shipping. So, you know, there are massive drop shippers all over the world that are doing multi-million-dollars yearly. All we're doing is being a small fish in a big ocean and taking our small percentage of that multi-billion-dollar industry. And we're just doing mini ones, and a small percentage of that is still quite a hell of a lot of income. So I think people need to realise that it's a learning curve, they're real world skills that, should you want to leave, I mean, I wouldn't want to leave this community ever, but should you want to leave in the future, you've still got skills that are current at the time you leave, that to take with you and go and do by yourself if you want to. So I think people need to understand that it's a sort of skills going forward. It's a real business, and it's not a short-term sort of fling thing.
And you don't pick up skills overnight as well, so don't be frustrated if you don't get the video first time. It's a learning curve. Just go through it, and you know, one thing that is kind of a little bit missing is the mindset type of stuff in DS Domination. I think that you've got to be determined. You've got to, you know, have that self-motivation yourself, and the way to do that is to pick up. There's oodles of books out there that you can pick up. I think I've got most of them, and Rick's got most of them. You know, there's a lot out there to keep you in the right frame of mind. Look at that book as well, 80-20. Look at people like Robert Kiyosaki, you know, Zig Ziglar, you know, Jim Rohn, all these people, Randy Gage. There's all these people. You can pick up some great tips, great motivation to get you in the right frame of mind for things. It's something that, if you look around this industry, I'm sure you know, you guys know as well, how many people were in when you started. You see all these names around the place, and how many of them people are left now, and you're left with, I think, you know, you're left with a handful of people that have stuck it out, and them people are the people with the right mindset, and they're determined to keep going until they get there. So look at it as a long-term thing. Get the right mindset that you're going to be in this for long-term. You're going to be making money online, and you know, you're going to be in working with a team that wants to see you succeed anyway. So with that, I think we you know, really appreciate you joining in with us. Leave us a comment below if you're watching this now. If you're watching the rerun, brilliant. Feel free to share it as well with anybody that's interested in DS domination, because all these tips that we share, they're valuable to you, and you can share them with a lot more people as well. So feel free to share it on there. So just to reiterate, on the Rogers Hangout is going to be Thursday, 9 PM on the 22nd, so not tomorrow, the week after, 22nd of May. Roger's going to do a UK Hangout, content to be arranged shortly. Have a look in the Facebook group. If you're not in there with us, get in touch with anybody on this panel, and we'll put you into our UK Facebook group where you've got all the support for UK specific questions. Okay, so thanks for joining us, guys, and we'll speak to you next time.